अथा चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वां महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. Today we shall be discussing chapter 2, shlok number 26 of Bhagavad Gita. The name of the chapter is Contents of the Gita Summarized. As you know, Lord Krishna is explaining the concept of soul to Arjun so that he does not shun from the war, because it is a rightful opportunity to perform his duty, as irreligion is fighting with religion, and of course Krishna and Arjun are on religion's side. So Krishna is explaining that Arjun, you should not lament for your relatives or your dear ones, your respected teachers, your elderly relatives, and your younger children, etc., because soul per se does not die, does not diminish, perish. Soul is an identity which is uh, eternal. Soul is an entity which cannot be destroyed. So this knowledge Krishna is giving to Arjun. Now Krishna says, Arjun, to this verse, if however you think that soul, or the symptom of life, will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty armed. Krishna says, even though you think that soul dies and takes birth, even then you should not lament. Because anything which dies will take birth. Just like a seed. Seed has got away from the tree, but when it gets an opportunity, it from the under the earth it comes out and becomes a full grown tree, and after some time it again dwindles. So similarly, a soul which dies, it again takes a birth, if that argument is there. So Krishna is talking about this principle, but later on he will say actually this is not the right idea. The truth is that soul never dies, and the truth is that we should accept the soul's presence from the authority of our Vedic scriptures. So, because there are always a class of philosophers, just like Buddhists, who do not believe in the separate existence of the soul, and they believe that soul is doesn't exist beyond the body. In fact, there are many Christians also, they believe that only humans have soul. No other species is actually having soul. And you'll be surprised to know that there was a time when it was believed that only men has soul and no woman does not have any soul. Now, quite strange ideas. So, those who doesn't believe that animals have soul, so they find it easier to kill them, and they say there is no sin in it. So it is very important that what kind of idea, what kind of ideology we understand and what we practice in our life, because that gives a complete shape to our life and our destination, of course. So the best part is, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that those who does not give respect to the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, they live a life in vain. They never get happiness in this life, and they never achieve the ultimate aim of life. So those who accept the principles of Bhagavad Gita, they see how wonderful life is, how peaceful life is. So this is what is needed. So Krishna says, Arjun, that do not believe in such ideas. They have no truth in it. And today's modern scientists and modern thinkers also believe that there is no existence of soul. they believe that this consciousness is a product of some chemicals. Then some people argue that if such is the case, so when a person dies, why not we induce uh, some chemical in human body and it should again regain the consciousness? But it has never happened. But scientists believe so. It is a combination of chemicals. They doesn't believe in the existence of soul. That they doesn't believe that the life is coming from soul. And because of that, most of the scientific, so-called scientific people, are committing so many sins in their life. They don't have a spiritual culture in their life. They eat, drink, they do all nonsense by keeping these ideas in the front. So those who read Bhagavad Gita, at least they understand that what are the right principles. You see, once we have the right principles in our life, we become almost perfect and we achieve the perfect goal of our life. So this is it, that in truth, soul is always existing, soul never dies, and this is how it goes on. There is a very beautiful incident in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As you know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started his Sankirtan movement from Navdvip, which is in Bengal, and near Ganges. So he used to perform Sankirtan, he used to dance with Nityananda whole night, and devotees used to sing and dance as to relish the happiness of Krishna Kirtan in the house of Shivas Pandit. Shivas Pandit was a Brahman who was very learned but very poor, and he was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Advaitacharya, Nityananda, Shivas Pandit, Mukunda, Gadadhar, and some other elevated Vaishnavas used to perform whole night kirtan and dance under the close quarters. It was not open for all. One day, when Mahaprabhu was dancing, he suddenly stopped and said that today I am not feeling that bliss. It seems as if some people are unhappy around me. Is that so? Something happened? When Mahaprabhu inquired, he was informed that son of Shiva's died last night. Mahaprabhu was surprised. What? Why nobody has ever told me this? Then they said if they informed about his death, your kirtan would have disturbed Mahaprabhu, and Shivas did not want this at any cost. Mahaprabhu was greatly affected. He said, I want to see that boy. Mahaprabhu entered that room. The boy was lying. He was of around 12 or 13 years of age. All the women from the house were somehow stopped their tears, their howling. Mahaprabhu said to that body, O soul, why you have left? You see, your parents are lamenting. Why you have left them? Why don't you just come back? As Mahaprabhu uttered these words, this boy stood and sat on the floor. Everybody was surprised. When Mahaprabhu asked the same question again, the boy said, which parents? Thousands and millions of times I have taken birth, and in each birth, my parent says that you are my son, you are our son. So which parents should I go to? Because I have been changing this body for time immemorial. My life is for doing bhajan of Krishna. Human life is to realize the Lord. This is what I want, O Lord. You please bless me that I achieve that highest destination. I get the lotus feet of yours. I get your devotional service. So he was talking like that. And when everybody heard that, their all lamentation, their all misery were banished, because that soul spoke the perfect truth. You see, in any discussion, whenever we hear the truth, all our ignorance, doubts, our confusion just goes away. So, similarly, when a soul spoke such wonderful spiritual thoughts, everybody was satisfied and happy. They all uh, said thanks to that boy, and that boy returned to his destined place. So, in this way, Krishna is saying Arjun that Arjun, even though if you do not believe in the existence of soul, even then you should fight, because it is the duty of a Kshatriya to fight. Kshatriya can fight with his own brother if need be. That is why this Kshatriya dharma is difficult. And of course, one should not shun their duties. Duty is first, relations are second. Because a man who performs his duty, he gets happiness, he gets higher destination, he gets spiritual understanding. So, uh, this is how Krishna has explained to Arjun that do not worry, and you belong to a Vedic culture, and you should continue to follow your principles and not get attracted to these other ideas which has no solid foundation. So we'll stop here today and discuss the next verse tomorrow. Hare Krishna.